Leno, what's up? Can you rap? Hip hop?
Hey man, you gonna tell the story a little bit? I think the yoke is better.
Yo man, ok ça poser yo tout les poser tout les parce que dans pays ça son pays pas j'aime comprendre. Oh mon Dieu, quatre prophètes là poser dans pays là. Oh mon Dieu.
Yeah, more rap, hip hop. Encore.
Yeah. Oh.
This is Leno. This is a good friend of mine. I know him for several years now, and this life has been transformed. And I'm proud of this guy. In a couple of minutes, Kimberly's gonna tell you his story. What a life, what a story.
Okay, so Leno says that his parents died when he was 17 years old, and he has a brother that lives in this area, and that's why he came to this area. His uncle lives in Port-au-Prince, but I don't know if he stayed there at all. First time I remember Leno was probably maybe 8 or 9 years ago.
Yes.
I think, something like that. And I would walk up the hill and I'd see a rustle in the tree, and you could see him standing in a tree. And you'd wave to him or you'd shout out to him, and he would go back even further. So he'd back up on the mountain. And so he wanted to watch everyone from a distance. And so I kept edging closer and closer. And so maybe that first trip, I might have got near his tree, but you know, he wouldn't have came down and he wouldn't have interacted or talked. And he's definitely, I mean, nobody knows, of course, but the amount of malnutrition here, it's probably due to malnutrition that he has some form of brain damage or something where he's not quite right, and it's impossible for him to stay in school, and the kids all make fun of him and everything. So he would stay at a distance, and the kids would yell, and he was kind of, I know it's not politically correct, but maybe kind of like the village idiot. And he really didn't have very many friends, or, you know, nobody really treated him well. And as far as, you know, the locals or the kids. So then the next trip he came a little bit closer, and I would say, Leno!
Yeah.
And he would say yes. And I'd say, how are you?
Fine.
He'd say fine. So we got that little exchange down. And then he would come closer, and sometimes he would sleep at I thought it was his uncle's house, maybe it was his brother's. But he would sleep there a few nights on the floor, and then, or he might stay there a couple of weeks. And then maybe a couple of weeks he would sleep up here in the tree somewhere, or maybe stay down at Joe Danny's on the floor, on the porch. So he just kind of roams. And we asked a long time ago if, you know, we built him a little hut, if, you know, if that would be something good for him. And they said that he's really not capable of maintaining it himself, and that he wouldn't stay there if we built it for him. So we just haven't. It's not that we wouldn't have, but it's just not, you know, likely that he would use it. So sometimes he sleeps in this broke down Pajero, or it's an SUV. So he sleeps there a lot. He'll sleep at Joe Danny's house still. But every year he got a little bit more, engaging with people. And then one of the first trips where he saw some of the kids massaging me, and so he came up and he massaged me. And I got to be honest, it was quite horrible. But I told him it was great work. I told him he did, bon travail, and he was so proud. And that was probably the first time he ever touched me or came, close enough. And so then, then I would say, I need you to work on my shoulders. And so then it kind of became a game, or, it was a thing. And he takes great pride in what he does. And so now he washes the car every day. He basically, if you give him a job to do, he'll do it. He's a super hard worker. You work hard, right, Leno?
Yes.
Fort.
Yeah.
Yes.
Commando.
Yes.
Commando.
Commando.
Le champion?
Champion.
I thought so. Moi, pensais ça.
Yeah. Leno, really relax. Relax.
He likes to hang out with us and he likes to play games. He doesn't understand games, so we kind of just have to play the games, you know, however, just so he thinks that he's winning or that he's actually playing. And he can tell you that he knows how to count or that he can play cards, and he really doesn't know much of anything. But he is the sweetest guy, and we have a lot of fun with him. And I think since we've been coming, most of the kids have changed their attitude, at least the ones that live here. They've changed their attitude for the most part, and they treat him so much better. And, you know, he's just one of the family now. I mean, like, he's part of us. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Ou famille, moi?
Yeah.
Yes. Ou vraiment, moi?
Yeah.
Moi, vraiment, ou?
Yeah.
Ou vraiment, Kaya?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ils sont Géo.
Yeah.
Yeah.